Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to me, and welcome back to you all. It's good to be back. I've returned from my trip, and my trip was awesome. Good to see you all here, though, first of all. Always a pleasure to come back. This is awesome, guys. Of course, we're gonna, take a lot of time with the new hero today. We're gonna make sure that if you guys have any questions or fears, that I can hopefully help dispel them. Because I had the rare opportunity to be at Blizzard for this event, for the summit. And one of the great things about it was I was very much drip-fed the information. They had a wonderful presentation. They went step by step and really broke down what's coming with this 2.0 patch, this beta, because it's going to be on the PTR for a solid month while we all test it out. You've probably seen the sort of advent calendar that's available over on their website. There's a lot of stuff to this thing, but it was so laid out perfectly by the devs that if I had questions, I could just ask a dev right there what was going on. So I understand if all this information at once has scared a few people, there's no reason to be worried because you get to keep everything. In fact, if you already bought skins, and we'll get into more specifics like that, but if you already own stuff, you're kind of removing a big chance for you to get it in loot boxes in the first places. So the more you own, the more chances you're going to get the new stuff in the first place. So if you want to get yourself, like, some master skins, which won't be master only anymore, pick them up now so that they don't show up in your loot boxes later. And in fact, in that same sort of vein, I was given a random Ragnaros and mini rag code. So first person who screams, "I want rag," in the chat there, Kristen will shoot you a code, and you can get that for yourself. So if you got any codes sitting around, use them, because it's that time. I'm also sporting my sweet Blizzard sweater they gave me there. Oh, it says "In the Nexus" right there. It was cool, guys. I've been podcasting about Blizzard games for 7 years. Been to BlizzCons as press for 2 years now, which was just incredible. But to get invited to this thing, to be in that room with only about 40 other people, having this conversation and getting to have that one-on-one time with the devs, I got to. There's so many wonderful experiences, but one of my favorites was, I forgot his last time, but Sean. Sean is part of the sound development team. And he actually did the sound effects for Zul'jin, which was really exciting for me, because Zul'jin is a character I wouldn't play without those sound effects, without the kung, 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 kung that you get with those axes and the doo, 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 doo. And then, so me and this guy, Sean, he's describing all the sounds that it took to make that he was playing didgeridoos, and that he had like a chicken he was squeezing or something, like flipping upside down, pigs for ultralists, and just having this conversation. And I'm like, "Oh, you mean like, oh," when it ends? He's like, yeah. Then it goes, doo, 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 oh, and we're just standing there having this. That was the magic of this particular summit. And also just getting to interact with all the streamers, YouTubers, podcasters. I mean, it was a treat. But welcome, everyone. Zealotok. Bush, welcome back. Steel Dawn, good to see you. Sebanisu. I was gone for a bit, and I was hushed about any of this information. I can tell you guys, it was tough to stay quiet, particularly about something I tweeted out this morning, but you guys may be aware of now. There is, like, this was the hardest one for me, to not just run to the internet and tell you all how amazing the Diablo primeval is. And if you haven't seen this, I'm just going to upload it right now and run around as this guy. If you're a fan of xenomorphs from Alien, you're going to love the way primeval Diablo gets around, crawling like this, stabbing things. It is truly just that tail going in the background. Oh, man, I'm going to give up my master skin for this. It looks so good. And there were playtests on the floor there. And, the pros around me, they're trying to, play the new hero. And I'm on Diablo, an old favorite of mine. And I got to do, to a number of pro players, a domination double slam. Got them stuck between the two walls and did the slam. But also the push into the wall, walk around, pick them up over the wall into the tower range. So it was like the skin at first. I was like, oh, I'm going to have a hard time giving. Look at those little mouths going too. I'm going to have a hard time giving up my master skin. But that little experience pushed it over the edge for me. It was a real delight. And I'll probably tell this story on ITN as well. And it's currently missing. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. We'll see. Hopefully I'll get an answer by ITN and I can tell you guys a cool story. about one of the things they had on the build there, but we'll see in the future. But good to see you, Alebeard. Wrench, welcome. Good job defending yourself in silver. Shamoon. Debuff, welcome, man. Welcome. I hope my face from Radio Land isn't too frightening. I know you get expectations. You start to assume their voice looks like a person, so I hope I'm not blowing it too out of the water there. Austin, yeah, man. It's pretty cool. And I can tell you that they are fully ready to pump this thing. They are fully prepared to just go ham with this being the relaunch of Heroes. And you may have seen there too, I think it's April 24th, brand new cinematic for the game. Like they're going all out. And they're going to make sure that this is the full relaunch that we all talked about, that this isn't the beta anymore. This isn't the game you tried back then. And I think it'll re-inspire reviews again, of course, because the way they're pushing this, the 2.0 kind of pump on it. So it's really exciting. Welcome, Kel Jorntia, Daniel. Vendorin, Muffin Pickle, welcome. Welcome back. Tom, good to see you, man. Yeah, I know we just blazed through that tank talk in the last show. There's not going to be a strategy section, obviously, this next show. Tomorrow's show, 5 p.m., the ITN, will be with Jeff Kanata, which will be awesome, because then we'll have kind of a question man, as Garrett and I were both at the summit, and we'll be able to sort of relay that information back without getting too heady, because we were both there and shared the experience. So really cool stuff there. But I see lots of questions already popping up. Oh, that's a complex. I'm not actually sure, Muffin Pickle. I messed up my Amazon in Diablo. I got to Spaceland. What was it called in space? When in Diablo 2, you got decently deep in, and you got past, I think it was the end of the desert world, and you ended up in like side of a box or something like that. Either way, by the time I got there, I'd ruined my Amazon spec so badly that I had to give up. And the only class I ever beat D2 with was a druid. And that was really hard. It was a summoner druid with a little bit of werewolf mixed in. And I ended up pulling that off. But I can't tell you too much. The cool thing is, of course, you know me, right? And by the way, we did find a rag winner. So congratulations. I completely forgot. D2 something. Yeah. Forgot, whatever. Echoes, what is the summit? The summit was an opportunity for Blizzard to take this huge announcement, which probably a lot of their content creators would have been scared of, in all honesty, and get them all together in a room before the release of this information and drip feed it to us. Just like walk us through step by step, give us devs to talk to, so that when something this big happens, we're not all just blown away and freaked out naturally, because I see the Reddit threads already. A lot of you are, a lot of people are scared that they're losing content, that they're losing value in the game. And that's simply not true. And to make sure that communication was clear, they got everyone together. And of course it builds hype, of course. People say, I'm going somewhere. Ooh, you should be secret, right? That helps build the anticipation. And then, of course, morning of here, day of here for me, we can hit the ground running with all that information for you guys and help you understand what all this encapsulates. And all reality, what it encapsulates is just a lot of free, cool stuff. And ways to get the free where it previously wasn't. There is nothing that isn't craftable outside of, I believe, stim packs. Don't quote me on that. But I believe just about everything can be crafted. I mean, you can even see here shards, which would be, so gems are your money, basically, to get into it a little bit. Gems are a 1-to-1 fun bucks. And I believe it's 1,000 for the dollar or something like that. Maybe something else. I'm not sure at the moment. Have to sort of research that stuff up. Could be 100 for the dollar. I'm not sure. But either way, it's the fun bucks, right? This is your, what was it called in The Simpsons? The Krusty Bucks. So you kind of forget that you're spending money. It's an important system in a lot of these free-to-play games. And then, of course, you have to buy the full dollar amounts, and then maybe you need an extra 100. So, it's a system. But either way, as you accrue gold, you can still buy the heroes. If you get a loot chest and you get a double in there, it'll turn into shards, which is your dust, so you can craft everything you want. And then your gems you can use for real money purchases. And if you purchase a skin, you get them all. So now they've divided a lot of these skins into mini sections in a way. And to kind of show you what I'm talking about here, like imagine, first of all, look at the top here, right here on Artanis. Imagine they said, hey, we're going to update the Shogun skin for Artanis so it has a fourth color. Well, naturally everyone would be like, well, why doesn't X skin have a fourth color? Why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? And this new system of skins with crafting the individual colors. So if you already bought the Shogun skin for yourself, or if you purchase it in the actual store system, you'll get all these colors for yourself. But in the loot boxes, they're divided up individually. So that means that you can now have cool stuff like, spoiler alert, but battle damage Artanis here from the Legacy of the Void cinematic, where he's got some Zerg blood on him. Look at that coat all torn up. It's badass. It really is. He's got a certain side blade on his side there, and it is colored. He got a bit of a haircut, you may have noticed. So it's been out for long enough, right? Legacy Void, over a year old now, I believe. It's been out long enough. So we can do cool stuff like this without causing a kind of value conversation to happen of why do you get that? Why do you get those cool options on that hero and I don't get anything? And on the more lame side, perhaps, because that one really excites me. But take a look at something like Sonya that in the previous system, you have never been able to do. I mean, I remember Kristen saying, what a cool skin. I love the stomach. That helmet, well, because she has no attachment to it from doing vanilla raiding or anything like that. She thinks it's a stupid helmet, and it is. It's a can opener, as we called it back then. So now they can do side skins for only 100 crafting material there, where you can take the helmet off. And that's really awesome. And I did get to meet Solid Jake. I got to meet a ton of people, a ridiculous amount of people. It was a handshake palooza. I got to meet a lot of streamers, but I did meet up with Jake. I met him at this last BlizzCon as well. He was extremely flattering. In fact, Solid Jake used to be an old StarCast listener. So, and we're talking like back in the day before we got into the heavy esports and the MLG, and then he went off and did his own MLG projects and eventually came around on Heroes and Overwatch and all that stuff. But real cool to meet up with him and just be randomly flattered by a guy that I was flattering at the same time. Got to meet J-Hal, Gillyweed, all pretty much just everybody. A lot of the podcasters were there. And that is really impressive. Podcasting, it's become more popular, more mainstream with time, but it wasn't the YouTubers. It isn't the Twitch numbers. And to have us there for Blizzard to acknowledge what this means, and I got so many just wonderful, wonderful feedback from developers about how valuable Into the Nexus is and how they perceive it for the community. And I mean, I'm glowing at this point. One of the questions I asked them, with 2.0, how are you going to communicate the strategy to all these new players that are going to come into your game? And they said, we move too fast. We rely on shows like Into the Nexus. And, then sort of gave me some hints as to some of the stuff they could do to help something like our strategy section from last week reach more listeners. And that's really exciting for us, but just really exciting for the game as well, that they're embracing all aspects of the community, including those who, use radio shows, have their fingers and eyes busy at the time. I have seen the Wolverine Kharazim, yeah, and that's another one, right? Like, let's say they do, Wolverine Kharazim, and it's fun. It's fun, but how much would you pay for this? Me? I'd say it would be a $5 skin, but in all reality, this thing looks like maybe a $3 skin. It's not extremely different from the normal mode. They gave him a fist weapon, they did his hair, and they gave him some facial hair. The fact that this can now exist without sort of having to meet those money standards in a way, while still being high quality, of course, is really exciting. Or check out this, right? Like, here's the Star Princess Li Ming, as you know her. And they gave her a fourth tint, and it looks great. But I've always thought this skin's kind of cheeseball. The hair's too big, and the armor's kind of weird. So they made a new one, and it's really loud. It's fantastic. But it's redone. It's kind of better quality than the old one without having to say, oh, those people saying, oh, I like the old one. Because they are. Of course, people like what they like, and you can't fault them for that. And if they get an opportunity to hold on to what they used to have, but still have the better version, that's fantastic. So all sorts of cool stuff like this. Leoric's got one as well. Kael'thas. Yeah, check out this. Like, would you be upset in all reality if they took your skin here and made it into what is maybe perhaps an even cooler version here with this robot and the legs and the robo orbs? That it's still the steampunk one, but they added on top of it. So there's some real, I mean, just dig through this at your leisure. There's some really cool ones. God King Leoric here is pretty sweet. But again, you know, it's just kind of a sort of retexture, not one-to-one or anything like that, but, you know, maybe something like this couldn't exist in the former. They haven't done a helmet-less Leoric yet. So you still have normal Leoric, and maybe, hopefully they'll go through. But you'll notice, like, on that master skin, it's now got its own name. It's Entombed. Kararum? Leoric. The master skins now have names because they're no longer masterful. So your master skins are going to be skins. So purchase them. If you have master skins, you want them, purchase them because there's a decreased chance to get whatever you want. If you already own it, there's a lesser chance you'll get in the loot box. So if you go out there today and spend your gold and purchase all the master skins that you aren't wearing because you own some money skin, you're going to decrease your chances of getting that again. And if you do get it again underneath there, even with the decreased chance, that's where you'll start getting the dust, the shards, to craft all that random stuff. Can you disenchant items for shards or gems? I don't know about that, actually. I don't think so, but I'm not sure, to be honest. The store is turned off here, so I own the skin. I don't know if what that means. That's a great question, and I didn't even think to ask it there. Was I disappointed at all that there wasn't a new engine announced? No, not at all. I think that was something we were concerned with in the past because we had, for me, my concern with the engine was the clunk and the GPU requirements. I've upgraded my computer a lot over the last 2 years of streaming and doing these shows, so I do have a powerful enough computer to handle these things. So my opinion has changed in that way too, but they have constantly, for me and my modern system, cut back on the needs, and the game has gotten better and better. And with things like Lucio being able to wall ride, in fact, I was talking to one of the devs, and Lucio's skate animations were actually harder to do than the actual wall ride execution. So all that sort of tech is there. And now they've added in the emoji tech too, which they said they can also means they can do replacements. And actually, to the degree, one of the developers was telling me, Ken Eric, he was telling me that because they now have this tech to transform text like Twitch into symbols, that means they can also put a 5-minute cap on GGs and turn it into a salt shaker if they wanted to. Like, whatever they want. If just like Overwatch, if you say GG easy, they can replace that now with a bunch of emojis or another phrase or whatever. So they've continued to add into this game, and I don't think we need that anymore. And with the new cinematic coming out, that could possibly be the sort of cap on top of the whole engine that makes everything feel complete. J-How is taller than me. He's probably got a good 3-4 inches on my height. And it's in his body, too. I'm all legs. You're probably seeing me sit here, and I don't look 6'4", but it's all in my legs. He's all legs and then body. So he's a tall guy, for sure. Do shard values go down if you own the base skin, but not the variants? No, so every single skin is unique. So that is true. If I purchase this Leoric, I do not get a discount on this Leoric. If you wanted to do that, of course, that's where you would start to be like, oh, I'll just spend real money and get the whole package at that point. So that's an interesting thought. And remember, this is an extended beta. So if you don't like any of these thoughts and you're not a fan, let them know, because this is going to sit on this PTR for a solid month before it goes live. And the reason for that is because they want to know that stuff and they want to hear all those options. How hard was it for you not to break the news early? Asked Select Meats. Great name, by the way. The Diablo was the hardest part because we all knew it was already in existence from BlizzCon, but it was something I was really looking forward to since the release of Heroes. Should have been in there, and that was hard not to talk about for sure. But the rest of this, I just wanted you guys to see for yourselves and dive into. Probably the one that I had the hardest time not just like taking a picture with my phone and tweeting at you all was this guy, the cartoon Li Ming spray. This thing was hilarious, not only because we were all playing there and throwing these emotes on the ground, particularly as Li Ming players would get kills, but I just love it so much. I love this cartoon variant. This is going to be the go-to face for why'd we boss there. And the cute new brow, I mean, there's so much to love here. And I've heard the fears, and I understand the fears that this is going to clutter the ground a little bit. It doesn't look MOBA-like. The banners are definitely MOBA-like. We've had those in other games. I think just like Overwatch sprays, we're going to see them here and there. Most people won't take the effort as this becomes mainstream in our heads and the specialness wears off. I mean, people spray on the door at the opening of Overwatch, but most people aren't that busy. And you have that guy who sprays as he gets the kill, so when you watch the replay at the end of it, but he deserves that in my book. If you got a triple kill and then you spray on the wall and look at it and make everyone else look at it, that's style. So nothing wrong there. But yeah, you got the banners, and the way the banners work is this will throw down. You're not in control of this. You can't throw it down like you could in World of Warcraft or something like that. But this will be on top of whatever you do in terms of mercenary camps or fort and keep destruction. So if I'm Vala, I could equip the Demon Hunter War banner, and when I get a kill on a fort, that fort forever now in the middle of it has my flag on top of it. I've kind of marked it as mine. And, you know, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't give any stats in the area. But every time people look at that fort, they'll remember that I was the one that destroyed it. I mean, these banners are all fun and good. Check out this Zerg one, though. It's giant. Just giant and pulsating and wiggling. It's great. And that's the sort of thing I'm really excited about. And if you take a mercenary camp, it'll sit there on the flag. It'll replace the flag. And then when the new mercenary pops up, it'll disappear and the next guy will take its place. So some of these will come and go. But the fort and keep ones, on most maps anyway, unlike Towers of Doom, will just sit there forever. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? So we were talking about, like Sonya able to now have her helmet off because you can do these minor variations on your skins. But you're right, some of these are pretty small. Like here is Shadow Paw Lily, but now you have Shadow Blade Lily, where they just like gave her some blades and kind of shredded her up a bit. And that's exciting. And as you mentioned here with Tracer does have a very similar kind of thing going on. Where's she at? Where she had her Spectre skin, as you know it. They gave it a fourth tint that you can now unlock. But now she has this Ghost Tracer skin. With the goggles and all that. And the nice little cloak and leg thing, too. So that's pretty neat. Peter P, less chance to get duplicates if you own the skin. Is this 100% confirmed? That is the words I heard. I don't know what the percent chance is. Because if you get doubles, that's where you get shards in the first place. So it's going to happen, and it's supposed to happen. But there is a smart detection in there to make sure you're not just having a bad go. And in fact, they even said that there's going to be a smart randomization in there that if you go 7 boxes, every time you go a box without an epic, or a rare or something like that, it'll just continue to increase that chance to give you those things. So if you are someone who just wants to buy 100 loot boxes, you won't get stuck in a bad run of bad luck. So bad luck protection is basically what it is on both ends, both the receiving and the getting of it. If I'm already going to be capped on loot crates, does that make sense to completely shelve the game until 2.0 comes out? As it'll only be harder to get loot boxes the more XP my characters have. That's an interesting question. Because you are right, there is a cap on the number of loot boxes that you have. Most people, the average person, will not reach the 70 cap. Crazy streamers, perhaps myself, but maybe even not, will reach those numbers. Certainly people like Pallytime, who just have an absurd hero level, will hit that 70 cap. And maybe that is lame, and you guys need to certainly take to whatever outlets you have, and if you feel that's an unfair number to talk about it and let them know because this isn't beta. But why would you stop playing a game you love, right? I mean, the core gameplay, there's fun stuff in here. I want this today. But it's not taking away anything from you. Have fun. Continue to enjoy the game. Unlock things so you can stop yourself from having to get them in loot crates, maybe. Complete those master skins and stop them from popping up in your boxes by spending your gold. You can also spend your gold to re-roll a loot crate. So there's another gold sink for you as well. If you don't like anything you got, you can just re-roll it. Does this mean that people are going to be able to say, my play is poo emoticon? I'm not excited about that. They could have called you poo in the first place, right? I'd rather have an emoticon. And you can always silence. I mean, nothing like that has changed. In fact, you can see here just the pages and pages of these things. So when you go into your loadout, you'll be able to select your favorites here. So you can have 10. So you'll set yourself up for those. And that'll be one more thing to manage that I really like. I mean, I don't always want to play, but I want to enjoy my, well, collection, as it says here, and dive into it. And in fact, I've got a bunch of loot boxes here that I should probably get to opening while I talk about this stuff, because I haven't done any of these yet. Let's go ahead and turn on the sound effects too. I just wanted to make sure Tracer wasn't talking our ears while we stared at her. I mean, very Overwatch-esque, of course. If anyone doesn't know how to open these things, you always open one at a time, never quick. I don't care how many boxes you buy. Respect the box. Respect your Hearthstone pack. Leave the rare, or the highest rare one you have for last, naturally. And take some time and enjoy it. So that's a voice line. And when you do your taunt, you can hook up your choice of voice line to it. So that'll be one more thing you can customize on top of everything else. I'm going to choose not only my mount, my hero, of course, but my banner, my voice line. If I have the epic version of Taunt, which is the new version of Master Skin, that's how you're going to show that you've really progressed as a character. You're going to unlock the special Taunt that is just fireworks flashy, right? Everyone will know when you execute this Taunt that you have put the hours into that game that would have represented by a Master Skin. But let's be honest here. Does Master Skin really mean anything anymore? And eventually that taunt won't mean anything because everyone will just get it through game time. So it's kind of a refresher of that feeling of putting in the work. Shards you get from this as well. The currency for crafting. Sepia, Muradin Perch. There's a lot of cool ones in here. In particular, the box art for Warcraft 3. It's supposed to be BlizzCon the game. It's supposed to be Super Smash Bros. So just give us every game cover ever. Give us the box art to Legion. Then they're gonna do it. They're just saying, you know what? Everyone wants this stuff anyway. Cool. And I got the Jade, so the green version of the Jade Dragon skin, but only that one. And I could spend $250 to get a whole new box. In fact, I got a Growl. I got some, nothing special here. So why not? I've got some gold sitting here. Why not give it a shot? Oh, so I actually lost my rare. So that's not guaranteed anymore. So I got the Domination Terran banner. The icon, so a spray. Ooh, that's kind of fancy. Another banner.
The shadow does not.
And it increases in price every time, and it does have a cap, so I can't just keep re-rolling the same thing without it getting more expensive. That is something they told us about. Cassia's actual release date is, I believe it's the 1st on the Advent calendar. And I'm calling it that because it very much reminds me of those Christmas treat little doors you would open. So check that date. I'm not sure off the top of my head what that date's going to be. I don't know if she's actually going to sit in here until the beta is over, if she'll go into live early. That I'm a little confused on, and we'll all learn that together at the same time. So are they going to sell heroes with skin variants like they do now, or just per skin basis? So when you go to the store, the featured, if I buy, my understanding right now is that if you buy the package, you will get them all, but they'll be in the store as individual cases too. So I'm still figuring that out as well. And I don't know if this is version 1, like this one here says Probius 1. So that would mean that that's only this Evangelion kind of covered Probius. But this new Cyberrak that they did like this Tron thing to, If you purchase that, do you get all the variations? I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure at all. Have you given for when all this goes live? Let's find that together then, because we're all curious about when this stuff's all coming out. So let's find that calendar if you guys haven't seen it and take a look at it. News, Heroes of the Storm. And I believe they've already got the patch notes up. Let's see if they actually put the thing I was excited. Okay. For another time, then. I guess we gotta go to games and... Spotlight Developer. Isn't it like playheroes.com or something like that? Is the brand new site? Yeah, playheroes.com. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I have no idea what the Heroes timeline is. But there's a Q&A tomorrow that may reveal what's going on. So your 17th here, I would expect that to be... But maybe. I don't know. That could be a reveal. I mean, you definitely have another reveal or maybe a release. I'm not sure, you know? That's like we're all flying blind about this information because this is all coming out for you guys, for us all. This is the reveal of the ultimate plan. We were definitely there to discuss the more scary aspects of the 2.0 and the systems therein. So we'll figure that all out together with time. Do you like the new hero? Do you like her? Is she coming out at 15k? You know, actually, let's check that. But I may already just own her, and we may not get to see that. No, there she is. So yeah, the gold price is the same for you there. I do like her a lot, actually. Of course, when you know we're sitting there and they're excited. You know, they're presenting the new hero to us at the summit, and they lead with, guys, we're going back to Diablo 2. And you know me, I'm a monster kind of guy, so I'm like, oh my god, like, and bosses just start flying through my. I'm even thinking of like the horse skeleton thing in the sewers, and I'm like, oh my god, like any monster would be incredible. And then they show us Humans of the Storm, and I'm like, well, but she actually is really super solid. Gives you another blind option, too. I'll be diving into her deep once we finish this conversation here about all the new systems and going through the loot boxes and all, but she's got some really cool stuff. In fact, let's just go ahead and get into some of this cool stuff here, because I did get a chance to play her quite a bit on the floor against pro players, too, which was really neat. But some of the things she has, like she brings a blind. She has a basic ability that is a blind for an assassin. So now you have blinds, and you can go tank support with Lily, Johanna, or get another one. And then look at that passive. You can stack this up. I mean, if they want to go all auto attack, you can build a blind team now. And 15% increased damage. You can increase that further with talons throughout and make her deal more and more damage to blind target. And that's all damage. That's ability damage. That's auto attacks. You're going to be stutter stepping 65 physical armor while you're in motion. So what you're going to do on these engages, and it's really elegant, is you're going to get out of blind, and then you're going to charge the target with fend and do a standstill kind of stab thing. But that locks you in that position for a bit. So you blind them first so you can survive standing still. And that's kind of what it's about, damage negation. But as long as you're moving, you're negating tons and tons of damage with this avoidance. But check out this. This is probably the coolest part of her kit. Titan's Revenge. Cassia's basic attacks ignore all armor. All armor. And her basic attack range is increased by 2. The 2 basic attack range would be enough to get you excited, like the quiver for Vala. But avoiding, I'm kind of sad they didn't call this chaos damage. Maybe they can work in that for Illidan. Wouldn't that be nuts? But even so, that's a new kind of system that really excites me. That's cool. It is not an engine rework, no. This is on top of it. This is not going to really affect matchmaking either. You know, they said that's an endless project. They, of course, are hoping to add in with this release some changes to help that out. But this is mostly about how the game is free to play on top of everything else, reworking the store. So when you have this big relaunch and say, it's 2.0, guys, it's not the game you played 3 years ago. When people get in, they'll see the new systems at work here. I mean, infinite lighting, there's some cool stuff in here for sure. I really like her, and we'll dive into her a little bit in a bit. How do I get the Prime Diablo skin? It is only found in certain types of chests. Yes, or if it was featured, you can purchase it with money, or of course you craft it. And you would do that by going to skins, finding Diablo, and then for crafting wise, so purchasing, you get all the skin types, is my understanding currently, and that could change because all this is subject to change as we are in a beta. But if I wanted to craft one, I would go to this screen. Oh, hey, check it out, Toxic Diablo. So they just made a greed version of him that's now available. Awesome. So I would go to, I want, let's say, well, Prime. And then I would pay my 1,600 shards. And these are gems. And I guess I have no shards at the moment. Yes, that's right. Cool. The only things purchasable with gems and heroes, stim packs, and loot boxes, correct? Or the skins as their package? That's the part I'm a little confused about at the moment. But yes, what you say is correct. And you can craft everything except for stim packs, but you do have a chance to get stim packs inside your loot boxes. It's a new system. We're all going to figure it out together. And certainly this is investigation for me for ITN, so we can give, when that show is with its more formal attitude on reporting, give the actual answers there. So I'll be researching this all tonight so I can give these answers. But I'm glad you guys are here to ask those questions so I can think of them first and be ready to answer them at that time. Do you know if hero levels will transfer based on level or total XP gained? I'm level 20 KT, but I have 1,000 games played as KT, meaning would I be placed at a KT level significantly higher than level 19 KT players with less games played or not? Let's find that together because there is a handy dandy bit of information they gave me here in the press kit, and we can dig that up. So we would want, fact sheet? No. We would want probably the one that demonstrates the XP bars. Here you are. All right, so this will give you an idea of what you're working with. So previously, in the old model, you can see that you would play like one game and you would hit level 4 immediately because it's just this flat amount. Whereas 5, 6 would be about the same. And then once you got up to 10, 11, every single level was the exact same huge, crazy 6 hours or so, 8 hours grind. So it takes a lot less XP to get those levels. And those levels on heroes go up to 999. They highly doubt anyone will be anywhere close to that number. And they said that they did the math, and it would take you like 36 years of playing to reach 999 at the end of it, or something like that. So it's not likely to happen. But when they condense down that XP for you with your level 20 KT, and I assume because you have a level 20 KT, it also means that you probably don't have level 20 all the other characters. That's where a lot of your loot boxes are going to come from, that 70 cap. And a lot of those will be KT loot boxes, which means they're guaranteed to have an item for KT and an increased chance that that item for KT is rare, is my understanding at the moment. So if you're level 20, you can see that you're just by looking at this graph that clearly you'd probably be off in like 75. I'm just making that up here, but it's going to be pretty big for you. It's going to be out there. Oh, congratulations on gold, Braska. That's awesome. Are there no more bundles? I'm not sure, right? I mean, when we look at featured here, it's the new stuff? I don't know. Do we get loot boxes from the level conversations? Conversions. Oh, hang on a sec. I shifted. That would play from level 1 up to level you cross over at. I guess we just covered that, maybe? Feel free to rephrase. Do your PTR buys and stuff transfer over once the game goes live? No, but you can't purchase anything in here with real money right now. They have given us this 1,000 gem pile and the loot boxes to experiment with. And in fact, if you check the quest here, playthrough games receive gems. So they're giving some away just so you can test the area. And in fact, there's this little progression here that tells you when you're getting close to unlocking another pile of gold. So that's kind of neat. So even if you finish up your quests, you can kind of see, feel encouraged to complete that one more Rexar game that's going to put me over 5 on the PTR. Of course, I have, I think, a level 9 Rexar in the real game at the moment, but now this would be the new level thing, so it's all a lot of conversion at the moment. But they did say that they're really interested, and I did ask them about that. They're very interested in using a system like shards. Now they have all these currencies. They have gold that they can give you that's mainly used for purchasing heroes now. They have gems, which is your 1-to-1 fun money. And you have your shards, which is the dust that you can craft with. And they're really interested in using these 3 different currencies to reward players. They have to build the cross server technology to allow you to complete a quest in the PTR and get a reward in the real game. But they said they really like that idea. And if it can get people, every time they put up a PTR, play 3 games a quick match and you get 100 dust. They said they really like that idea for going forward. Peter P, the taunts may not be quite around yet then. And of course, as this level system goes, they may still be working on those things as well. And it may not have been integrated yet. But really cool system to replace. Very loud. It's going to be very clear when you're on the field and someone does this taunt. And you're locked in for a taunt. I mean, it's going to be like a B step, except for B steps you can cancel whenever you want. Dances you can cancel whenever you want. But these taunts, you're going to be stuck doing and saying your line until it's over. And it's going to be really loud. So we'll see. Maybe they're hidden in the game somewhere. In fact, let's go ahead and see if we can get in and see that new wheel as well in the try mode. I believe it's on the X button. So let's see. Okay, so here's your dance button on your new X window, which is definitely cancelable.
Initiate hostilities. I dare you.
So you would do that taunt with the line that you attach to it, and then that effect, which may not be in the game because it may just be that no one is actually on the PTR with a higher enough level to actually interact with that sort of thing. But then you would have your spray and that voice line you attached as well, sitting in there. Right, so Raimi, yes, absolutely, yes. You already got gold for leveling those heroes. You will get the hero-specific level-based loot boxes in its current form, which may change over this beta, but you will get a loot box system of some kind for the heroes you've already unlocked. So really, people saying that they're taking away, rewards from you. You already got all the old rewards. What you're now getting on top of that is a pile of the new rewards. So there's no reason as the motors, or what is it, the lawnmower flies in the air. There's no reason to be upset. This is all really awesome. Can you outline how do the banners and such work when you are in game? So they don't work at all. You don't use them. The banner is only tied to, and of course I couldn't do it here because I don't actually take a mercenary camp. But the banner, is there a way I can refresh forts? Well, basically there's no clean way to do it right now, but the banners only replace this banner here, and then when you destroy a fort, it sits in the middle of it. So you actually don't get to summon it. It doesn't land on top of something else. You can't call it down. It's just going to mark that you destroyed that fort or that keep, and it'll be sitting there that you took that mercenary camp. Just kind of a way to show some more individual performance, but it's also an opportunity for them to have banners. And banners also mean that in the future you could purchase maybe and support a team. They haven't said this, but they said they like the feature and they like the idea of supporting, your favorite team and getting their banner that you can throw down in game. One more avenue for that money to be passed around. And of course, they love the idea of what WoW's doing all the time with Make-A-Wish, that you could purchase this pet or this banner or voice line or announcer pack or spray or whatever, and that money could go off to charity. Are the quests ever gems, shards? Are the daily quests only gold still? I believe, and I didn't actually get an answer on that, so I can't tell you for sure. But my understanding is the daily quests will still be gold because that's how the free-to-play players will unlock new heroes. And the quests will still be very based around unlocking new heroes because that's what the game is about. In order to play the game, you have to have enough heroes to play in ranked or hero league and down the line. So it's the progression system in the quest department will still be very much that style. When you re-roll a loot box, does it go completely random or is the rarity of each slot locked? No, so it was completely random there. So in my first loot box I opened today, you saw that I had a rare and then it disappeared when I re-rolled. So I will have to take that chance. And in fact, well, here's a rare chest. So, let's re-roll a rare chest and see what happens. So I opened my rare chest. Oh, I got 2 rares. Fantastic. Remember the order. You gotta open the small ones first. Kind of shakes.
Sublime.
Oh, neat. Cool. So I had 2 rares in my rare chest where I was guaranteed to get a rare. It doesn't look like it's any more expensive to re-roll a rare chest. So I re-roll it, and those fall away, and now I'm only down to 1. Okay. And the more of these I unlock, that's adorable, the common spray there. The more of these unlock, the less chance I have to get them again, so even though it may not be something I want, at least I'm happy to have it in my collection so we can move on to other things. Let's do it again then. Okay, so for science, that's cute though. Oh, and there are moving sprays, I guess. That's kind of fancy. All right, so let's do it again. Price went up. Oh, snap, now I got 2 purples. Huh. So it certainly is not locked. Tattoo Tyrande. Hey, Pepe. Epic. Nice. All right, well, I'm not going to re-roll that. That'd be greedy. Cool. So hopefully that answered your question. G-Mac. Welcome, dude. So are the skin tints now bought individually? If so, are they still linked to the hero levels? Not at all. Your hero level has nothing to do with when you unlock skins. If you own, let's say, Fell Chromie, when 2.0 drops, if you're a level 2 Chromie, you will own every skin there because you bought it with real money. If you wanted to get all 3 Chromie tints in the new system with crafting, you would have to craft each individual tin skin for whatever the rarity cost of that skin is. So, in fact, to use that as an example, let's check it out. Let's go down to Chromie. So if I wanted Fell... Oh, so that's only a 400 because it's an epic. So it would cost me to get all 3 of the skin tints. That'd be 1,600. Whereas the legendaries are 1,600 each. If I wanted to craft for free all the epic versions of something, these legendaries, I would have to pay up a lot of shards. So it is good. Wow, that one's actually the same price with the little Tron colors going and all, with the faceplate and all that. Same price as those. Why would you even... Nah, you just get yourself a neon. That's fantastic. But I love that these sort of skins can exist in the game now, that we can have, just minor alterations. Characters with more colors to them than others with this new system. Olives asks, if I'm sitting on tons of gold right now, do you recommend I would save it or spend it? What should I spend it on? Will it transfer if I don't? It will. So you'll keep your gold. That's not going anywhere. In fact, this whole re-rolling system is going to be there to help you spend the gold that you're not spending right now. I'd wait 2 weeks to see what information we get. If I had to answer you today, I'd say go buy every master skin you can that you own so that it never pops up in a loot box. Because, as I've been saying, when you own the skins in their now form, their past form, you will now own all 3 versions of that and have a decreased chance to get those 3 skins in a loot box. So going and buying every master skin you can right now might be the best way to guarantee yourself getting for money skins. Like, go buy master so you have a Falstad, so you have an increased chance to unlock Seafoam or Salty Buccaneer Falstad, for instance. So master skins will no longer be excuse me. Master skins will not be limited by hero level. Right. So master skins are not called master skins anymore, and you've probably already noticed this on the board here. Wanderer Chen, Durotar Chen, You know, we have the Master Skin here, Mage Lord. They just gave him names. Master Skin Diablo is called something now. Soul Iron, Hell Iron, Fell Iron. You know, cool stuff. But that new epic taunt thing will be the new version to show that you are that high level with that hero. Does Rag have something just rather orange, yellow? Yeah, let's check him out. Maybe not, because he's still made of fire, and there's a lot... No, there's nothing else, so... Well, no, wait, here, Scorching, Molten... No, it's still 3... Yeah, and this wouldn't be under skins, because the other one would be his normal look. I'm guessing they can't really change up Rag from fire colors, because if you ever put an ice elemental, or maybe even like one of those fen creepers, right? Like something made of plants. Anything elemental looking without legs could end up looking like Rag. I know there's new Diablo and there's new Stitches colors too, but they're still gonna remain that same color because they're afraid of people being confused when they see Butcher and Stitches together, because they're both dual-wielding big fat guys. But in here you'll also find a lot of new stuff too. Oh, whoa, whoa, check out that! She's got white eyes, that's awesome. Like Vampire Johanna. Scarlet, Scarlet Crusade. Cool. Yeah, there's all sorts of goodies hidden throughout here. And I agree with you on an emotional level about the Master Skins, and I feel you there. The problem is the game's been out for so long, and I mean, are you really that impressed anymore by a Master Skin? Do you really... You know, I mean, the real reason they did it is so they could have these minor alterations, right? Because what if one character got 5 cool Master Skins, but the other Master Skin only has 3 tins? You know, now in this new system, they could also give us Master Skin Johanna with all the bells and whistles with the backing, but take off her helmet and give us a version of that. So I like what the new system is allowing, and particularly if you missed it earlier, the ones that really mean a lot to me are things like this Artanis here, this battle-worn Artanis with the lore, with his haircut, with the gauntlet there that he's wearing, his other side blade. I mean, this kind of stuff can't exist in that more real money environment because it's kind of just an alteration. They cut him up, they damaged him, they added some textures, but you know, can you put this on a store in good conscience for $5.99? I don't think you can. So, the game's been out so long, you can get a Master Skin inside of AI. So I think they lost their meaning in that way. But I get you. One of the other things they said that they really disliked about the Master Skin when I was asking them is they hated the idea that you would have to draft with your Master Skin on. And a lot of people are doing this, apparently. You would select your Master Skin, select the hero you want so everyone saw that you had a Master Skin, and then you would switch over to your paid skin, the one you wanted to wear for that game instead. Because you wanted to show the prestige that you had the Master Skin. So by removing that element, you can wear whatever you want, and it's not assumed that you're a nub, is the idea. Now, you'll still show up in, your pleb armor with your pleb horse, and people will still think you're some kind of, well, casual, and that could absolutely be the case, or you misselected or whatever. But I do like the new system, and if you want to look like, you should dress up however you want, Being fabulous is half the battle. It's all about presentation, particularly when it comes to being evil. Think of your favorite bad guys, right? Final Fantasy characters. Would you wear that outside? Would you do your hair like that? Probably not, but when you can fly around with swords and summon 10 of them, you dress however the hell you want because you're amazing. That's what I say. There is a new Vala. Yeah, G-Mac, for you, man. I will definitely go to the Vala. There's a new Vala skin that is really cool in here. And it is with the shoulders. Where is it at? There we go. Oathmaster. Check that out. That is real sweet. We were geeking out pretty hard about that, particularly the crazy shoulder pads. And one shoulder pad, one sort of arm gauntlet thing, like a mini shield. I don't know. It's sweet, though. It's sweet. We were afraid. So we actually found this before they explained the Master Skin system to us. So we thought this was a rework of her Master Skin. And you can kind of see why. Like, it looks like almost a better version of it, but a lot of people love the original. So when you want to update, cheesy master skins like something for Arthas with some minor touches, you might upset your community. For instance, remember that reworked Brightwing that everyone's talked about? That everyone wants the new sort of buff, high texture Brightwing in the game? That can now exist alongside the old stuff. And you can still have Master Skin Brightwing while having new redone Master Skin Brightwing alongside each other. So it just really opens up the options. And we can have those coexist together and still be Brightwing. Now, of course, when they would do that update, they'd keep all the old skins, but they'd probably start making Brightwing skins for that new model. I'm assuming you can see people's hero level in draft. I'm not sure about that. Oh, because you're asking to see the same level of prestige, right? You want to know those previous Master Skin owners, what their actual level is with that hero. And that's something you should pose. Find an outlet for that. Tweet at them. Because that's an interesting question. How can we still, outside of taunting in game, give that level of prestige while drafting? Can we buy more mounts now? Yeah. I mean, check this out. Cyberram. Only available in a bundle. Now outside of it. You can only get the Star Chariot by buying the Star Child Li Ming bundle. Now it's outside of it for 400 shards. They said everything. Oh, look at this guy, too. He's new. Everything outside of promotional items and stim packs and gold will be craftable. I guess you can't craft shards into gems either, but I guess they would do the same thing unless it was a feature. Yeah, that's where this new system, because there's 3 currencies now, and that gets a little muddled, but they just didn't want you buying gold because the gold is the quests, you know, it gets a little confusing. And we can let them know that. And having this conversation out the top here, we're already doing that. Did they remove Skeletor? The holiday skins are going to be holiday specific, so he may not be in here. In fact, if we go to Rhaegar, those sort of things will come out and be craftable during the holidays, but they want those holiday-specific items to be part of those holidays. So he may very well not have his Christmas skin, yeah. So you're not going to find those sort of things, and Skeletor may very well be in the very same boat as a Halloween thing. But Kerrigan's skin is around, so, you know, isn't it right? Does she have... No, she doesn't. So... But then you go over to mounts and hero specific, and here's Bat Transformation Kerrigan, which I own. I own all these. I don't own Mechatassadar, so I guess this is just a placeholder right now. Yeah, I don't own this skin either, so this is just saying this is a display. That's great. This is just a display of all the hero-specific mounts. I guess they might be purchasable on their own. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Could just be a placeholder part of the collection. Did any new cosmetics take the place of a master skin for a hero? No. No, so master skins still exist. They're in the game. They're not the master reward anymore in this new system, but nothing's been removed and replaced with something else. And very much for that same reason. They didn't want to take anything away from anybody. And if you like whatever, you know, it maybe the rest of us think it's dopey, and, you know, we're like, oh, your master skin is bad. Why would you mess with Arthas? Why give him a helmet? Why even give him spikes? The cape is nice, though. I do like the cape, but, you know, to mess with something like that, that's weird in my opinion. I'd rather wear something else, but I might be forced to wear it in order to have the prestige of doing so. Tundra Arthas, as it's called. Yep, I agree. Debuffu, yeah. No, it's important, and that's one of my favorite things, too. That they renamed the collection, and when I go to my loadout here, I have a lot of room to mess around and really get into this. And I'm someone who wants to organize my heroes, but maybe I'm too tired to play. But I just want to get on and, like, experience my collection. And you guys remember Super Smash Bros, where you could move around your little trophies, and they were crap, you know. No, those things had no real value. I shot the credits as hard as I could to get them, but it was still nice when I didn't really feel like playing the game to just kind of go in there and set up my toys, organize my desk, as it were. So I really like this. I can get in here and I can say, okay, I want to do the Boba Fett colors. I'm gonna go, and I need a banner now, so let's go. I got my mount with Leoric Space Leoric here. Let's go ahead and put him. I love him on a... Do I not know? Oh, right. It's divided by individual things. So I have to go to mechanical. And then go down to my... Let's put him on a neutral bike. Hook him up with... I don't think I have anything unlocked here. Need to blaze through those loot boxes. Then I go to the spray. And I mean, this... I really dig this kind of thing. Again, yeah, let's do an animated Pepe spray. And then I get to choose an announcer if I want. The Murloc, those are the map instructions now when you do this. So...
Prepare yourself for combat. Let the battle begin.
Completely replaces the Garnetary lady or anything like that saying things. Murky just gurgles. Butcher just yells and growls. And yells about meat the entire time. Yep, like 20 different kinds of fresh meat. It doesn't really get anything done. So I would have to unlock those individually as well. And then I'd pick my... Oh, treason.
Treason must be rooted out.
Of course, I need treason on there. Let's go ahead and keep going through those while we talk about this stuff. Maybe get some emojis and such. Did they say at the summit whether this was something that was in development since launch, or did they just make the decision to rework everything recently? They didn't give us an idea of the time frame, but it's pretty clear that this is influenced by Overwatch, right? And these sort of loot boxes are profitable, of course. And we know Heroes is profitable enough to them to put this amount of work into it, certainly. I mean, when I was talking to that sound guy about Zul'jin, I mean, he made every single one of those sounds unique. They did not go grab a axe from Warcraft 3 or WoW. For Heroes, because they want the level of the sound to be the same. They were telling me, something like Lucio has a really crisp comic book sound in Overwatch, but you put that inside of Heroes and it doesn't match because just like you have to redo the graphics and the character in a way, you got to make sure the sounds are all the same. So everything about this game is really expensive to do, and we know they have the money for it, but loot systems just make more. It's like card packs or randomized anything. It's just going to make more, and it gives me a way to continue I don't free to play anymore because, I do these shows and I need Heroes Day of and stuff like that, but I dig it. Nice! Yes, right now. I guess I need to finish the box. Yes, I will accept that. Where do I even go for that anymore? Match history? Oh, look at that. Go me. Progression? I guess this is... Oh. Huh. What happens when I get... Oh, these are all my... Okay, so I can check in where I'm at. Where do I go for my portrait and stuff? I click that, and... Maybe I do one of these? I'm not actually sure anymore. My roster? Ooh. Roster, eh? AZ, this is kind of fancy. Rolls. Favorites bar. I have no idea where oh, no. Okay, I go to collections. Yes, I go to collections, then I go to portrait, and then I would have to go to... The one I really want is this. I love this painting of Leoric. It's so badass. But I guess I would have to go to... Yeah, here we go. Yeah! Yeah, box art. I bought the one with the undead on it, though, on the cover. I think it was Kel'Thuzad on there. Anywho. The new Lunar skin is weird. You mean the one with the hat? Well, that means they can do that. I mean, it's not a far departure from her old version, right? And I forget it. It's probably sitting in here. But yeah, I mean, the Sentinel Lunara is not so different than Warden Lunara. Could you really sell this for that much? I think it's neat. I think it's cool that you can have this level of... Look at that. Oh, wow, that's pretty sweet. Like, flaming... Was it Dark Sentinel Lunar? That's pretty badass. A 4th skin tint. So, Cassia does have a master skin, but it'll be... I guess... I don't really know what the future looks like in that regard. Because will we still... So, are we now guaranteed on release that every hero has 2 skins? Maybe. I don't know. Like, the what would have been the former master skin and the for fun, purchasable skin, as it were? I'm not sure. But either way, she has one, right? I mean, here it is. Here's her 2 normal tints. You do have a Wonder Woman color theme, so it's not quite spot on, but they did color it up. But yeah, this would be your Master Skin equivalent right there with the little skull paint under there and the various versions of it. But then, of course, would be the purchase skin. So I don't know if every hero is guaranteed to come out with 2 now. Interesting question. Is it true that the loot boxes were given to be capped at 70? If so, for those of us with all level 10 characters, now we lose out. Do you actually have all level 10 characters? In which case you might be the outlier. In which case you've already received a ton of gold already by leveling up those characters. So you're being double rewarded with a cap of 70 boxes. It sounds fair to me, but I get that, you know, it's your investment and you don't want... It's like raid gear, right? You don't want to just give stuff away because, you know, some dude who's there once a week and you're there 5 nights a week gets a higher upgrade and you're a side grade for your items. I certainly understand you there, and that's why this is in beta. And take that and go to Reddit and go to the official forums and tweet at Blizzard and let them know that you don't like the 70. I'm cool with it. And with my game hours, even with all I do for streaming and shows, they've said that there's a good chance that I won't be at the 70 cap, but there are those who will be. I play a lot of custom games. I do a lot of stuff with you guys. I do the after shows for ITN. So I spend a lot of time not getting XP when I'm playing this game. Whereas people like Palatine will absolutely, with, you know, all level 15s and stuff, absolutely they'll hit 70 and they will miss out. So let them know. Let them know that that's what this is for. But cool stuff. Cool stuff for sure. I hope that helped you all. Let's get into Cassia here a bit. Actually, let's just go ahead and blaze through these real fast. So I have stuff. Common straight. Cool. Boom. I guess I should probably re-roll some of these or something. We'll do it if we don't get a common. Either way, just filling out. Ooh. Emoji Zarya. There would be a Master Skin version of Illidan. Cool. Oh, wrong order. Messed up. Nice. Prototype love Dr. Morales. Oh, snap. Lily Pack.
Legendary.
Nice. Festering. I guess, do I own that one? No, it's a duplicate, so I'm going to get myself automatically. Let's see if I accept. Yeah. So it's not even like Hearthstone where I have to go to my collection. It's just automatically disenchanted. I got a stim pack for some reason. Was that from the previous little go there? Cool. I didn't own Kaiju. And I don't get to keep any of this stuff that I'm doing right now. Nice. Such good work by Oscar. It's really cool. I love what he's brought to Heroes with the kind of comic book style. Oh, there we go. Yes. I got the best one in the game. All right, where's that Leoric? Load out. Spray. Oh, right, I have animated ones. Oh, well, you know, it's still... That Li Ming's too good. And I guess... Did I get any announcers through that? No, those are lines. No announcers yet.